So how does Angular connect to a database, or how do you connect Angular to a database in your application? Well, of course, it is a use case that you will often have. In your Angular app, you generate data like posts or recipes or whatever you have in your application, and you want to store that data in a database and also fetch it from there when your app restarts, when a user revisits your page, and so on. And it doesn't matter which kind of database we're talking about, if that's a SQL or no SQL database, doesn't really matter. The thing is, you don't connect Angular to a database directly. That means you don't enter your database credentials into your Angular app or anything like that. This would be highly insecure because everyone can read your Angular code. Since it's a front-end JavaScript application, everyone can inspect the code there. And that is fine, but that also means you must not store credentials in there, for example. And you will learn how you can still authenticate users and so on later in the authentication section, but you definitely don't want to store database credentials. For more information on how secure your JavaScript code is, you can have a look at an article in a video I attached to this video here. So if we don't connect directly to a database, what else can we do then? Because we certainly don't want to have our standalone, independent, unconnected Angular app. Well, you send HTTP requests and you get HTTP responses to and from a server. A server, in the end, is defined as an API here. That means it is, for example, a REST API or a GraphQL API you are communicating with. And in this course, we'll use a REST API, which is the most common form of API you work with. Now, such a API in the end is almost like a normal website, but when you visit its URLs, you're not getting back HTML, but you're getting back data, mostly in a JSON format. And if you want to learn more about REST APIs in general, you'll also find some helpful resources related to that attached to this video. And I have a whole course, my Node.js course, where I also teach you how to create such APIs. Because you don't use Angular for the creation of these APIs, you use server-side languages like Node.js or PHP instead, but you can communicate with these APIs with Angular. And on that server, you then can have code that does interact with a database to store and fetch data. And of course, there are more reasons for communicating with a server than for storing or fetching data. It's not just about database access. You could be uploading files, or you could be sending some analytics to a backend, or any other reason for why you might need to talk to some backend server. Now, in this module, we will not write such a backend from scratch, since this is way beyond the scope of the course and totally not Angular's job. But I will show you how to use a free dummy backend, which could of course be replaced by any real backend you have, to send requests, to use responses, and so on.